Welcome back to the Digital Workspace, the show where we break down the biggest shifts in how we work. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sam. And Alex, today we've got a big one. Microsoft just dropped what they're calling Wave 3 of Microsoft 365 Copilot. And the headline here isn't just an update, it's a fundamental change in philosophy.
It really is. They're framing this whole thing as frontier transformation, which sounds a bit like marketing jargon at first, but when you dig in, it makes sense. The core idea is that AI has to do more than just make us slightly faster at the things we already do. It needs to unlock completely new ways of working.
Right. It's not just about optimizing. It's about transforming. And they hang this whole concept on two.
Intelligence and trust. Intelligence to make sure the AI knows what it's talking about, it's got context, and trust to make sure IT departments can actually deploy this stuff safely and responsibly across a whole company.
Exactly. And the star of this new wave, the thing that really embodies this shift, is something they're calling Copilot Cowork.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Cowork. It sounds collaborative, but what does it actually mean? Is it just a fancier name for the Copilot we already know?
Not at all. This is the key difference. The Copilot we've known has been great at single-shot tasks. You ask it to summarize a document, draft an email, create a few slides. It's a prompt and response model. Copilot Cowork is designed for long-running, multi-step work.
So it's the difference between asking an assistant to write a sentence for you versus asking them to go and write the entire quarterly report.
That's a perfect analogy. With Cowork, you can delegate a complex request, and it will break it down into steps, reason across different files and tools, and then get to work. And you can see its progress. You can steer it. You can guide it. It's not a black box. It's an agent that works for you over minutes or even hours.
And I saw that this is powered in part by Anthropic's technology, the company behind Claude. That's a huge deal.
It's a massive deal. It shows Microsoft isn't just betting on one horse with OpenAI. They're building this multi-model intelligence right into the core product. Copilot can now choose the best model for the job, whether it's from OpenAI, Anthropic, or someone else in the future. It's about using the right tool for the right task, without the user even having to think about it.
That's smart. It prevents vendor lock-in and just makes the product better. But let's get practical. Where does this new, more powerful Copilot actually show up?
Right inside the apps you use every day. This is the other major part of Wave 3. Copilot is now deeply embedded in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Outlook. It's not a side pane that generates text you have to copy and paste. It's working alongside you, inside the document.
So if I'm in Excel, it's not just spitting out data, it's creating real formulas that I can edit. Or in PowerPoint, it understands my company's brand kit and slide layouts.
Precisely. It refines existing work. It's not creating a separate downloaded file that creates version chaos. It's editing the document you're in, and every change is transparent, reviewable, and reversible. They used to call this agent mode in the preview, but now they're saying this isn't a mode. It's just how Copilot works.
That feels like the right move. It needs to be native to the experience. But what about when you don't start your work inside a document? A lot of my work starts with a vague idea in a chat.
And they've thought of that. Chat is now the entry point for what they call chat-first creation. From a conversation in Copilot Chat, you can now tell it to create a new Word doc, or build a presentation, or even take actions like scheduling a meeting, or drafting and sending an email to your team.
Without leaving the chat window?
Without leaving the chat. It's about removing that friction of context switching. And this is also where the ecosystem comes in. They're building in agents from other companies, Adobe, Monday.com, Figma, so you can interact with those tools directly from the same chat interface.
Okay, so we've got these powerful agents doing complex tasks inside our apps and being kicked off from chat. This brings me back to that trust pillar you mentioned. If you have hundreds or thousands of employees using agents that can send emails and create documents, that sounds like a potential nightmare for IT and security.
The potential for chaos is huge, and that's why they've introduced another new product called Agent 365.
Let me guess, it's a way to manage all these agents?
Exactly. They call it the control plane for agents. The core idea is brilliantly: manage agents the way you already manage users. You don't need to reinvent your entire security and governance infrastructure.
So you're saying IT can use familiar tools like the Microsoft Admin Center, Defender, and Entra to see what agents are doing, secure them, and apply company policies to them?
That's the pitch. It gives IT observability and governance over every agent across the entire organization. It's what allows a company to move from a few people experimenting with AI to actually operating with AI at enterprise scale with confidence. IDC is projecting over 1 billion agents in enterprises within a few years, so a tool like this feels less like a nice to have and more like an absolute necessity.
It does. Okay, so you have the powerful new Copilot features, and you have Agent 365 to manage it all. I feel a big bundled price tag coming.
You are correct. It's all wrapped up in a new top tier.
Microsoft 365 E7, which they're calling the Frontier Suite.
The Frontier Suite. I like it. What's in the box?
It's the whole shebang. It includes Microsoft 365 Copilot, it includes Agent 365 for the governance, and it includes all the advanced security and identity features from their existing E5 plan. It's the full package designed to equip employees with AI while giving IT the tools to keep it all secure.
So it's their all-in bet. They're saying if you're serious about this frontier transformation, this is the suite you need. It's the productivity, the AI, the identity, and the security all rolled into one.
That's it. And it really brings the whole story full circle. You start with this big idea of transforming work, you deliver the intelligent tools like Copilot Cowork to make it possible, and then you provide the trust layer with Agent 365 to make it scalable and safe.
It really feels like a turning point. For the last year, AI has felt a bit like a powerful but slightly disconnected experiment. This feels like it's being woven directly into the operational fabric of a company. It's not a separate thing anymore. It's just how work gets done.
That's the goal. When intelligence and trust move together, AI stops being an experiment and starts becoming the new standard. And Wave 3 is Microsoft's biggest push yet to make that happen.